Well, hi everyone. We're now recording. We've already had a few minutes before we started recording, but we're all really upbeat. And the previous call with, we won't even call it Hunters and Gatherers now, it's basically all of WA, was outstanding. And I think everyone who's on our call now who was on it will, I think in the next 24 hours, they'll want to re-listen. I made some notes, but because I was doing notes for our call, it's all mixed up, but I just thought it was absolutely amazing. And one of the things I picked up is we got to wake up, guys. We do have to do more fun. We have to remember, why do we do this? You know, do we do it just for the check at the end of the month? Hey, it's great, or it might not be great, but why do we do this? You know, I could be out nursing, I could be out selling lipsticks, car insurance, whatever it is. We do this because we care about people. We know it's a fantastic product. We know it works. We know that everyone needs it. And also, how many, whether it's yourself or other people, how many people do you know? The majority of people, we won't even call it struggling, but they're not having the quality of life that we know is available if we follow the tried and proven system. So the thing is, it's an interesting thing because before all the NMDs got together and do that, I mean, you could only call those two girls upbeat, straight to it, no fluff, just do it. And I'm sure when they need to, they understand that some people will need some softness and warmth and love, and that's normal. But you know what? They've become, one's a young mummy and one's Gen Y, and they've just become business women. But they're savvy. They know exactly what they're doing. They know what they want. And they know where they're going. Will they have made mistakes? Will they still make mistakes? Yes. But some of the tips we got then, those golden nuggets, the first thing we've got to do, I think, is go and listen to Eric Worre's GoPro again. If you've listened to it already, go and listen to it again. I'm challenging all of you, and I'm already saying I will. By this time next week, next Monday night, I will have listened to it. I didn't even realise it was only 2 hours. I'm actually going to not do it in bits and spurts myself. I'm going to actually make it so I listen to it for an hour, then maybe do another hour. Just get it done. I don't even think this time I'm going to make notes. I'm just going to listen to it, let it go in, then maybe listen to it again and make some notes if you want to. But one thing I can say to you, we can all do as many notes as we want. How many people went to conference, made heaps of notes? Has anyone looked at them since? How many people went to the Success Summit? Did we really look at our notes? We can make notes, but we've actually got to go and do it. We really, really do. So that really made me pumped. I'm hoping that the team is feeling really pumped. And I think we all want to be really upbeat and really, just share and really contribute. And that's why tonight's call, I was really stumped for some reason. There were lots of things I could teach you, and we could talk about, handling objections, and we could talk about this, that, and the other. But I thought, no, I want to try and make our team calls. Like, fair enough, there were 2 people presenting then, but it was really like a guest speaker. I guess I could get a guest speaker every now and then, but I want this to be our team catch-up call and to address things that we need to. So I don't want it to be a training on something I've decided. So the first thing I'd like to do, and I think it's a given now that we're all going to go and re-listen to that call and hear those nuggets again, but something that I really heard was Val saying about timeline. So to me, it's pretty obvious. They don't worry about a business page or anything. It's just the timeline. They're just telling people what they're doing with their day and having a smoothie or at the beach with their kids. In Val and Sunny's situation, Dad at home during the day as well. So really, if I chose to, I should make more on my timeline and the fact that I brought Craig home from FIFO and, we're doing this and out to lunch, and that's really given me food for thought. Will I do that? Do I want to do that? I'm not sure because I'm having that little hiatus. But it really made me think what I could do. So just think, with all the stuff we've sort of gone on courses and particularly Tanya and Nicole and I, we've really, because we've done the Simon Mitchells, we've done the Sam Lees, all that sort of thing. I don't think we're confused. I just think we don't want to spend thousands of dollars on ads. It's not the way to go. So You're listening to Val Gamer, who's really become quite successful. She's just getting a real presence online on her timeline, and every now and then someone asks a question or does a comment and she picks up on it, or she just happens to get a friend on Facebook she hasn't seen for years and she does that lovely spiel. Now, I don't know if anyone else did that, but I quickly copy and pasted that, printed out, and I've already also saved it to file. So if anyone wants that copy, just let me know and I can get it to you. Because that's for a young mummy, and you just need to change it according to what you want, what suits you. I love the fact that she said, what do you do? I help mums create an income from home so they can spend more time with their family. Do you remember at the workshop I was telling you how I wrote out the Brian Marsh thing and it just didn't do it for me? It just wasn't right. But I can read that and I feel that. I help mums create an income from home so they can spend more time with their family. How simple is that? So really, I think everyone in this call should be saying that, because most of the people on this call are mums anyway. We're mums helping other mums, whether you're old, young, or in the middle, doesn't really matter. The other thing I was thinking of as well was after our workshop. Oh, also, what did you guys get from it? Obviously, she's talking about the massive, great big Juice Plus testimonial page. So if she's talking to someone about a particular issue, was she saying that I'd like to put you in the testimonials page so she can see lots, or was she going to tag her in a few that she thought were relevant? Anyone know? Unmute yourself if you do and share with us what you think it is.
She said that she would just add them to the group so that they can go through and look at all of the testimonials, as many as they wanted to.
Okay. Yeah.
Which I thought was a good idea.
Yeah. Because I'm in an unusual situation. I don't think probably any of you have had this. I don't know why. Craig and I've got a lot of customers. They're not necessarily as old as us, but every time I ask them, no one wants to go in any Facebook groups or anything like that. And I'm the firm believer, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I'm frustrated because I'd love to be able to do that with some of them. Anyway, but for some of you, it might be a perfect thing. The other thing, though, I want to say, after our workshop, which the majority of you were there, did you go home and think about your system or your daily method of operation? Or it could be your weekly method. Or you might devote 2 hours out of the week full on to Juice Plus, so it'd just be your weekly method of operation. Did anyone put a little bit more structure into their Juice Plus life, or you just kept going the way you were going, you were happy with it? Did anyone do a little bit more customer care? I'm not seeing a lot of heads nodding.
I just decided that I would just talk passionately to everybody, and I actually did that on the weekend. We've known this fellow Phil that is often sick. He's had chronic fatigue in the past, and his wife is chronically sick, but that's a bit of her lifestyle as well. Anyway, he's been sick. He was at the bottle shop as crook as anything. Came over last weekend, and he was still sick. And I'd said to Roscoe, God, he needs Juice Plus. And Roscoe was like, don't even bother. He won't, he won't take it. And so he came in and he's, and I said, Phil, I just come back from one. I said, you know what we do? This is what we do. We're on Juice Plus, for goodness sake. This is what you need. Oh, I have blueberries every day. I eat well. I said, Phil, we all eat well. We all like to think well. Anyway, I rattled it on, and he said, yeah, okay then, I was on it years ago. I didn't even know that. And anyway, he put the order in. Now, I could have just not spoken to him on the basis of what Roscoe had said. And I've known him for years, you know what I mean? But anyway, he's put the order, and hopefully he'll get the wife on it, because she needs it more than anybody. So I just decided I don't care, no hold bars. I'm just going to tell everybody from the heart. It's always from the heart. And, and there you go.
When you know your why, the how will happen.
That's it.
And you're passionate about helping people. You totally believe. That's a classic example. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
just before we go a little bit further, I'm going to share what happened. I don't know if you saw my post last week that I'd been calling people out of the blue, even people who'd been franchisees with me even 15, 16, 17, 18 years ago. Today I had a lovely, lovely lady come and visit me. When I met her, we worked it out, it was about 15 years ago. It was in Port Hedland. I'd just been through my divorce and I drove up to Geraldton, Carnarvon and Karratha and Port Hedland. I had a few distributors in places and I stopped and did events for them, then went and stayed with my sister for a little while up there. And I met this lovely lady, Sue, then. She became one of our distributors. We did a big event up there. It was the one where I had the most guys in the audience. It was really exciting. And she got quite a few customers. I can't even remember the rest of the story, but she fizzled and she hasn't been with us for years. Now, it's interesting. I got her to my home today, and even before she came, I said to Craig, this is where I really have to put my listening hat on and do the master asker questions. Well, to be really honest, I didn't have a chance to get many in because she really wanted to talk. A very eventful, traumatic, sad, quite a grief-stricken life. But what I noticed more was that even though my intent, what I wanted, was to get her in the team. I want to build, I want to get people, I want 3 new VFs by Christmas. My heart just kept saying, the most important thing for me before this gorgeous lady Sue leaves today is to make sure she's going to order the product. Whether we sign her up as a franchisee and she orders, or quite frankly, I would have even gotten it for her at cost. So I have no doubt that this lady has actually had a stroke 5 years ago. Well, she's actually had a bleed. It's not really quite a stroke, but long story short, if ever I've seen anyone who needs this product, it's this lady. So it hasn't gone out the wayside, but I made sure that unlike what Kim and Val were saying, I felt the need today to really love on her and make it all about her. And so my plan is to get her on the product again, help with her health. She needs no stress at the moment, so it would not be in my interest or hers to start her, but she's very keen. So what I'm doing, I'm listening, and we're going to do just that, build that relationship and do that series of exposures, because when I put my business hat on, I want to make sure she's okay health-wise. And yes, I want to bring her in the business, but it's who she might bring in for us. So I'm not really worried if she doesn't do anything amazing. I'm sure she'll bring some in. But what I'm saying is sometimes your best intention, like she came here, she knew that she was coming here. Towards the end of our conversation, she said, well, we better go downstairs in your office now and show me all this stuff. All I managed to do was give her the freedom plan, a few bits like that, refresh her with the product, with some product information, and said that we'll chat in a few days. She'll have a look at it. The reason I want to say that is that sometimes you can't be, not all the time, but you can't be clinical all the time. My thing was to try and get her in the business. I had to listen and care, and I think it'll come out really quite good. So what I want to do tonight is that, now it was only Sunday a week ago that a lot of us saw each other. Did everyone see my very, very late post about the call tonight? About I wanted it to be a little bit interactive. So I'm going to start and tell you a little bit what's been going on mine. Then I'd really love you guys to put up your hand. You don't have to be prepared. You can just think about what's been good, what hasn't, what distractions, etc. But I think probably when I share with you some of my things and maybe frustrations, you guys might actually want to own them as your own. You might be in the same place. You may even be able to help me, and it'll help everyone. So my wins were, I've definitely, since I made that decision, I'm focusing more on building and prospects rather than just doing my customer care, supporting the team, doing lots of posts, trying to motivate people, trying to inspire people. Yes, that is one of my roles, but all the people who need to do what they want to do in Juice Plus will do it with or without me. And, all of us have got the same resources. I mean, it would be absolutely criminal for those of who missed tonight's previous call we've got to encourage yourself and your teams to listen to it. That would be absolutely criminal. So there's so many places we can learn. So I feel a little bit more disciplined along with that. And I told you about the meeting today where I really listened to her needs. Disappointments, I've got 2 guys actually who I've really been working on and all that, and I just have totally come up a brick wall with them. We've all been there and done this, I'm sure, but I just totally come up against a brick wall where I was feeding them, I was courting them, supplying stuff, and they were oohing and ahhing and loving it, and all of a sudden they're ignoring my calls. So I'm not really sure whether I told them too much, too little, or let's go back and think of Kim and Val. Maybe I fluffed around too much. Maybe I just didn't, get it happening. So that was really good for me tonight. Now I can reflect on that, what I did with those 2 guys, because I really believe I've lost them now, totally lost them. Whether I fed them with too much or whether it was too fluffy, I don't really know, but I need to learn from that. So that was a frustration for me. The other thing is as well, is that I'm really making myself invite. Like I'm hoping to have 2 ladies at tomorrow's, the Glass House tomorrow night. But I actually caught myself earlier this evening thinking, and this was exactly the naughty thoughts in my head. I said, oh, I bet they're going to bail on me again. Talk about putting the wrong thing out to the universe. So it just was a little thing that I caught myself on. If you think that, that's what will happen. I really believe in the law of attraction. Okay, so that was my distractions. My personal distraction at the moment is that I'm adjusting to a life and a marriage with not a FIFO husband. I've got a husband at home, which is awesome. It's fantastic, but it's quite an adjustment. And sometimes I just want to be the little lady of leisure and go out shopping and do all this sort of thing. So it was really good for me to reflect on that daily method of operation. And I had a look and I thought, well, really, I've got most things down pat. So for the first time probably in my career, I'm actually allowing myself to enjoy the beauty of doing Juice Plus, doing it when I want to, not when I feel I should. So what I'd like to do is, would anyone like to share some wins that they've had in the last week or 2? Who's had some? Well, Nicole, you've already shared your win. That was fantastic. Michelle could be next to a sleeping hubby, so we won't worry with. Marnie, how are you going in Canberra? Are you still awake?
I am still awake.
Hello, love. I believe we're going to do a bit of a hello. I believe we're going to do a bit of a training call with you. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can. I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you too. Have you had any wins last week, Marnie?
Well, I was just sitting here thinking about that actually, Hillary, and it was a bit of a win-loss-win situation. One of my customers, a girl I work with, and her son, she's got the fruit and veg for herself and the child health study for her son. She's had the product for over a month and she hadn't started taking it. And there's lots of things going on for this girl. So I was treading very carefully. And then after I listened to an Hour of Power, one of the Hour of Power sessions the other night, and then that got me going to think, well, she's got this amazing product, she's paying for it, I just need to put it out there again. So I sent her a message yesterday and she got back to me and she said she's starting this week.
Well done.
So I was thrilled.
Yeah.
So hopefully she will actually take it. Yeah.
That's right. So if you
I wasn't sure. I was sort of reflecting on I
was just going to say, if you hadn't been caring and done your customer care, you might not have made any calls. And a lot of people, this is a true thing, guys. Sometimes people do no customer care and someone will get their second box 4 months later. They haven't taken a single capsule. It just cannot happen. We've got to do some amount of customer care. I'm always of the belief just some is better than none. But can you imagine if Marnie had left that? You know, But well done, Marnie. Great win.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tanya, I'm just wondering, Lovey, do you have any, I don't like to be negative, but disappointments or frustrations at the moment you'd like to share with us?
My frustrations are there's been quite a lot of cancellations within my team with their customers, and I know that that's because their customer care is not being done.
Yeah.
And like what Marnie just said, one of the customers from my team's team has not taken her product. She's been buying it, and now she wants to cancel it coming up to Christmas with an abundance of stock because she hasn't been taking it.
Yeah.
And it's just that follow-up.
Yeah. Here's the thing, guys, with when you've got a team, so let's say Tanya's got half a dozen team members. But let's say, Tanya, and there's a couple of people on the call tonight who have got the same frustration, that she's got beautiful friends who've joined her team, but they just don't get it. They don't understand the passion that Tanya's got, and Tanya has put everything into it. And I think, like the few other people I'm talking about, she's now actually accepted that she cannot make these people have the same passion and wants that she has. So it is frustrating for Tanya, but it's totally out of your control. And this is why sometimes it's better to let them go. Don't encourage them to sign up if you're pretty sure they're not going to do anything, because then the customers can come up to you and then you can start looking after them. Because chances are that the people in your team, Tanya, they don't really even know how to do their customer care because they actually don't care enough. You know, they got caught up in the excitement. We've all got them, those sort of team members, we've all had them, and they've maybe long gone. So, yeah, that is a huge thing. And, you know, it is quite fearful because, you know, particularly when you're starting to build a bit of an income with Juice Plus, and then you think you're doing everything you can, and then we'll call it the team is letting you down. Got to rise above that. And that's when it just becomes clearer that your biggest focus, apart from getting customers and doing customer care and keeping them on, has to be building team. Has to be. So thanks for sharing that, Dale. Don't have any answers. It's just frustrating. But it is what it is. And just make sure you do your
I feel bad because I know, like, I've met the lady that was thinking about cancelling as well, and I know that her kids and herself and her husband need it so bad.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They haven't cancelled it just yet, so hopefully what I've said has made a difference. So
yeah. What about putting her in the testimonial page, honey? Did that help?
She's in my customer care page, but you know how in your group that you can see who reads your stuff and who doesn't. Like, she's never looking on anyway.
Yeah, she's not focused on it.
A few emails here and there. No. Okay. I don't know. I think I might just start sending her emails directly to her email or texting her instead.
Yeah. And guys,
even though
just
it's not
on
my
that
customer, like, I feel like I'm obligated to look after her as well.
Yeah, and the thing is, rather than obligated, why don't we rephrase that and change that up and just say, for example, Tanya's got her half a dozen teamies who, you know, even though it's not really fair, but you know that they're never really going to do a great deal, but it's in your interest for them to keep their customers. If it's not a lot that we're talking about, you might want to ask them, are you happy for me to do the customer care?
Yeah.
Yeah, which pretty much on your page thing you're doing anyway. And then make sure you introduce yourself to the person if you don't know them, and just saying, you know, you're a liaison for Juice Plus, and from time to time you'll be calling them, blah, blah, blah. Beautiful. Yeah. Okay, thanks, Tanya.
All right.
Thanks, Lovey. Xavier, I wonder if you'd come on and let us know how you went on your gig, your stall, your stand at the gym on Friday morning.
You hear me all right?
Yeah, perfectly.
We went well. Spoke to a few people, a few personal trainers, and I did your idea of doing like a shake, the book, and it says the internet connection's unstable. I don't know what's cutting out. And some complete. So I got some people's emails, so I still need to follow up on that to finalise some orders. But there's probably 2 people that would most likely definitely be customers, and the rest are kind of iffy, but
Yeah.
I just need to send them information.
And will the gym allow you to do it again so you can revisit it and just sort of create a presence there?
Possibly. The reason that they let me do it is because they were doing a pop-up stall for like a Halloween sort of special.
Oh, okay.
So they've got
Yeah.
different people on
Yeah.
different days.
Okay.
So I'm not 100% sure on that. They did ask me to come back in on Friday, but I can't because I'm at Cruz's school.
Okay.
Because I actually got the days mixed up. But,
Well, maybe you could be assertive and ask if you could do a bit of a stand again just for the heck of it early in the new year when everyone's got their New Year's resolutions.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm sure it would be fine. Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, great effort. The stand looked amazing. Livia, hello, love. How are you? Just wondering, hello, love. I wonder if you've got any wins or distractions or anything you'd like to share with us that we might be able to help with or cheer you on.
Seems to be the month of cancellations. I've had 2 customers come to me in the last 2 weeks saying that they wanted to cancel their orders due to financials. So one couple are actually buying a house and they need to save as much as they can, or they just bought a house.
Yeah.
Now they were both interested in not completely giving it up. So what I did, my response to that was, you know, you can delay it for a couple of months if it's something that is right now is, you know, something that you feel like it's, you know, over the next few months. However, I would be a little bit wary about not having all that juicy goodness and the impact it might have on you.
Yeah.
In a joking, you know, that kind of way.
Yeah.
I'd be.
Yeah.
And I said, just so you're aware, because they're both on the child health study, if you cancel your order and pick it up again in the new year or whatever, you will not be entitled to the children's health study. That's one of the requirements on the actual, as part of getting the product, that you won't be able to qualify for the children's health study again. So both of them have come back and said, oh, okay, thanks for letting us know about that. I wasn't really sure. I've also offered to drop them down from, you know, maybe just take half doses.
Yeah. Are they on premium or just fruit and veg?
No, one is premium and shakes. So I said, listen, maybe just spread out your shakes and reduce from premium to fruit and veg. The other one is just fruit and veg. So
yeah,
I think.
Well, the one that's premium and shakes could definitely just put that back to fruit and veg instead of premium, just for now.
Yeah.
So it still entitles to the child health. And are you aware that they can actually delay, I think it's up to 2 months in any one?
It's 2 months, yeah. I said a few months, but I knew it was only 2. So
yeah,
it's in 1 year, isn't it? 12-month period, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so also that's for Christmas anyway, at least, and then January then. So I have to follow up with them again this week. I left them to kind of think about it because they're not, to be honest, I looked at their reorders and they're not going to be receiving their next box until February anyway. So it may be a case where, you know, they know they have to pay up every month until they receive their next order. So it might be a thing whereby they're like, all right, well, we're okay. So we'll continue on, or I'll just reduce it down for a few months or whatever.
Yeah.
So
I think they'd be perfect candidates to go in the testimonials page and have a little look to inspire them.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I think they are already part of the testimonials page, and it's purely just a financial. It's not that they're not feeling the benefits, they don't want to take it anymore. It's just they've looked at money in, money out.
Did you offer them the business?
They both know about the business. I've spoken to them about it before, and at this point in time, no. But I might just mention it again.
Absolutely, I would make that a priority.
Yeah, well, one of the girls, she doesn't feel she'd be able to do it. She said, oh, I don't really know that many people, you know, that usual thing. But she, she is, she'd be a bit wary about it. She's happy to take the product and support, and she came to every one of my events and everything. But I might just actually ask her if she has anybody else that she would know, you know, ask for referrals. And if she comes back with referrals, they say, well, would you be interested in taking, you know, in doing that yourself?
And then you can also learn from Michelle Ball's call last week and be saying, look, a lot of people just do this and they do the family plan. It's not to be as a big business. It's just a few friends and family to get it to, so it pays for their own and just to help some other people. But one of the first things, if anyone's cancelling because of finance, you've got to offer the business and also make them do the feel, felt, found. I know how you feel. I'm sure that I would feel that way too, but what I know now about Juice Plus, I would wash dishes, I'd scrub floors to make sure I could stay on it. So why don't we just delay for a little while? I will always tell anyone of mine who they're not cancelling, but they're talking about cancelling, I straight away come from caring and say, the last thing we want to happen is your immune system to take a real dive. So I want you to look at the stock you've got and just start taking one of each now. Just take one of each. Don't worry about two of each. At least it's something and you're not going to take that dive. So just nurture them on their journey. But guys, with Christmas coming up, we're not going to put that out there, but this will happen. You can only do what you can do. But remember everything you've learned. Offer that, be caring and get them to tone it down a bit. Make sure you offer them the business. Go and have another listen to the Michelle Ball thing and offer them just to be like a family plan so that they don't have to do this big business. And then also if you could even just show them a video or bring them to an event where we show them that like Tamara didn't know many people underneath her great big popcorn thing. Okay, thanks Livy. And on that note, hands up, who's going to be hopefully going tomorrow night to the Glass House? I am. No, not getting there? Shame. I know there are a few people going.
I've no.
No. Okay.
I'm careless for the next.
I haven't got any definites either, guys, but I go for inspiration. So if you can get there, if you can get babysitters, if it's not too far, if you need some inspiration, and you know, because sometimes you do feel a bit kick in the guts when people are cancelling or things aren't going right. What's the best thing you can do apart from obviously go out and get some new customers and team to play with? You go along where there's people who understand and you'll hear stories that will inspire you and you will say, I am not going to give up. Because it's the people who give up that you think, oh my God, you know, like Jeff Roberti's sponsor gave up. How tragic. It's terrible. And we've got a big mission to do as well. Okay, well, I think that's really all I want to cover tonight. But what I can say for you guys that if you have done excellent customer care, those cancellations still can happen. But you've got a really good relationship with them and just let them know you care. But seriously, I suggest all of us go and listen to the Michelle Ball call again and really work out how to say to people, because they don't have to be the big business person and know lots of people. They don't have to be stars. We're just trying to get it so their own can be paid for and maybe a couple of $100 a month. And then all of us, if you weren't on it already, go ahead again and listen to I Can't Wait. And then also get your Eric Worre GoPro. And if anyone hasn't got one, please ask me because I can either loan you one or gift you one or whatever. Okay, so are there any other questions? Any questions at all? Anyone wants to make any comments? No? Does everyone quite enjoy this sort of, particularly because we have a formal one before with the hunters and gatherers at Quarter to 8. Is everyone happy with this sort of format? So we just throw a few things around?
Yes, it's good.
Yeah. And if you're not, that's not a big deal. Please give me some suggestions. I'm only too happy. Sometimes someone will suggest something, I think, oh, didn't even think of that. We can easily do that. And sometimes I might say, look, I might just do an ask me anything. So you might say, for example, oh, someone I thought they were going to order the other day, but when they asked how much of it was, everything went pear-shaped. So you can throw a few questions to me. It might not be your perfect answer, but you can sort of lean on my experience and I can share what I might have said, etc., etc. Okay, everyone, we might say good night now. I'll stop the recording.